Hello, this is Carsten Ley from Asia PMO and OKR Asia. We are a leading business transformation and goal setting by OKRs consulting firm in Southeast Asia, and we have done projects for SME and big companies in Asia, Europe, and the United States. During our 3-4 years doing goal setting by OKRs, we had a lot of clients who are using Jira. And when you are already using Jira, we came across a very, very nice tool, which is a add-on in Jira, which is OKR Board. And we will introduce you today why OKR Board is so nice and easy to use for OKRs in Jira. Before we get into the function of OKR Board as an OKR tool inside Jira, let's have a look what Jira is doing, mainly for your projects, for agile management, for sprints, sprint planning, epics, issues. Okay, I will give you a quick overview on that. So in Jira, you can see later you have a button, your work, where you can see specifically what is assigned to you. In projects, you see an overview of the project. So you see we have at the moment 2 projects. We see the name and the leads. If I click in one of these projects, I can see the roadmap. So the overall planning of the project, so a little bit a long-term roadmap, which also we need for OKR planning, because OKR planning is 3 months based. And before we go in OKR planning, we normally work with a 3 to 6 months roadmap in a lot of product and IT environments. What we see here in the roadmap, these are called epics. These are sub-projects or things you want to achieve. And inside we have issues, which are normally things to do in a project, which are directly assigned. Then you can see, of course, the entire backlog. And you see here we created a sprint and we dragged things from the backlog into the sprint. And we already started the sprint. I mean, once you create the sprint, it's good to drag and drop here and to agree with the team. And then you can have a button to start the sprint, and then you see your active sprints. And in the sprints, you see here a very nice Kanban board, what you still need to do and who has to do it on an epic and on an issue level, what is in progress and what have been done. And so on. And Jira gives you then, of course, a lot of reporting on your projects once it's running. At the moment, we don't have it fully running yet. But there are a lot of projects functions and a lot of reporting functions to get your work under control. So this is Jira in a nutshell. Now you are thinking probably, in Jira we can already monitor projects very well. I mean, we have a roadmap, we have the epics, like some would call them also milestones, we have the task issues, we have the timeline here a little bit, Gantt chart. We see what is in the backlog for the overall project. We see the active sprint in a Kanban board and so on. Now, the problem is with project management, it's not very result-oriented in an agile way or in a quarterly fashion. If you can see here, this epic here jumps over the quarter, from the last quarter and the new quarter. And what we want to achieve with OKRs is we would like to measure on a quarterly basis what you achieve inside a company. So if you are dealing with sprints, you can plan 5 or 6 two-week sprints within a quarter and see what are you incrementally improving. So you can incorporate your sprint planning here in Jira, but to have the overall result on a quarterly basis, you need OKRs for that. And also issues is more the to-do part, right? If it's done or if it's not done. What we want to put on top with OKRs are not only that we finished something, we also want to measure with predefined key results on a yearly and quarterly basis how good is what you have finished. Does it go in the right direction? Does it produce the right results? Not only internally as work, also externally, results against the customer, results on the markets, and so on. And therefore, we advise not only using a project management tool like Jira, putting also OKRs on top. So OKRs is somewhere between your overall strategy and the North Star. Then you have your OKRs like a quarterly planning and weekly measurement, how you get towards the quarterly planning. And then you have a tool like Jira to really manage the projects on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so how do we go from Jira to the plugin or the app OKR board? I mean, we have here an app button, yeah, where of course you can first explore the app and download OKR board. And once you downloaded it or you added it to your Jira, it will appear here in your apps. So you click on OKR board. And then you will go to the dashboard functions. Yeah, so we are now in Q1 2023. You see how many days you left. We have at the moment 2 objectives here. I will add more later to show you how to add objective and key result. But now I will explain you from the one we have. One objective is on track, one objective is behind. We also have risk, depends percentage-wise where you are in the quarter. So now 2 weeks in the quarter or 10 days in the quarter, we should be around 10-15%. Around 1 month in the quarter, we should be around 30%. In a linear world, sometimes you do stuff later in the quarter, that's clear. But to give you a little bit of color indication here, yeah, who is connected here, how many people are in the Walder, do we have child objective, do we have issues linked, and so on. We'll come to that later. Yeah, so you can also see which groups are connected and the people. Yeah, good. And then you can also see your OKR, the ones you are personally to. It's a little bit like my work or your work in Jira software, and your group OKR if you belong to a certain group. Now, if you go to the objectives button, you can see the overview here. Yeah, and it's very easy with click down and the drag and drop function. So I have at the moment here 2 objectives for Q3. Finalize the audit and launch and market the function click access. Yeah, and then for the first objective, I already connected to key result. Finalize the audit planning and execute the audit. Yeah, and this is assigned to different people. Yeah, and then I already updated here a progress. Yeah, and you see, like in any OKR tool, it accumulates up from the average. Yeah, but also you can also, and I will show you that later, you can also weight the OKRs here. Yeah, so you have objective key results, and then when you click on the key results, you can see the details here, the name of the key results. Here you do your weekly updates. So I updated it. The start was 0. Now it's 15%. The target is 100%. And what is good, you can also leave comments here. Yeah, week by week. That's very important that we see what you are doing. You can duplicate and delete the KR, so it's easier for you to set up. And like I said, you have a full overview here. Yeah? If it's behind now after 10 days, it's in red. 15% after 10 days goes automatically in green. Yeah, you can change the assignee, you can change the management. Later, when we can come to OKR, you have different levels of OKR. So at the moment, I was creating company OKRs, but you have also department or team OKRs or agile group squad OKRs or personal OKRs if you need. Yeah, and then you can also connect them later to your issues and to your epics. We will come to that. Creating OKRs is very clear and easy in OKR Board. And there's this very obvious button, create OKRs on top. And we just can create, but then we can also then drag and drop. So you don't have to be so careful with the structure. You can still manipulate it around, right? So you go here in the objectives button and you click on create OKRs. And I already created 2 company OKRs here. That means now I will try, let's say, to make a department OKR. Yeah. So we go one level, we can go one level down. Yeah. So the department OKR would be around develop user stories. So I just write the objective names. And then I can still add a description if you want. Yeah. User stories for click. Yeah. And then I could link that to a parent. Yeah. So I wanna link that to the click access part. Sorry. Yeah. And then I can decide if this contributes to the parents' grade or not, because some are contributing, some are not. It depends how you structure your OKRs. I mean, we as a OKR consulting company can help you on that. But it's good that a tool gives you the option: will it roll up or will it not roll up? That's very good. So let's say it will roll up, and then below that one, I can create the key results. Yeah. So I can close it, that you can see it. So if I click here, I have a department objective contributing to the company objective, and I can further then delegate it to somebody else. I will stay at the moment on my name, because then I have more functions to manipulate it. And then on this one, and this is also very good in the tool, because a lot of other OKR tools, they are very strict in objective, key result, objective, key result. But sometimes, especially on a company level, you don't want to define key results, because you want to make the measurements on team level or on squad level, right? So you only define the overall objectives on company level, and then sub-objectives for the teams and for the squads, which is very good here in the tool. And then the next part, of course, would be if I go back. So this is the objective, and then I have two buttons here. Doesn't matter which one I click, to create key results. Yeah, so let's do a key result. Let's say finalize 5 user stories. And as OKR consultant, we always advise not to measure by percentage, because percentage makes things very abstract, and the tool allows you that. Yeah, so instead of measuring by percentage, the target here is clearly 5. So I would say measure by 5, because then we don't have to translate it in percentage anymore. Yeah. Good. I'm the owner, but I can add more stakeholders here. Yeah. So people who are also reporting to this objective. Yeah. So I can make it a little bit more wider. I can also add different labels here from different departments if I want. Yeah. So there's a lot of things I can do. But the most important part is here that I can do a percentage measure. Binary means 0 to 1, especially for implementation, and a number measurement. Yeah. And then I click on create. Okay, so I have the moment it says at risk, because after 10 days we are in 0%. Yeah, so I close it. And so I have the key result below. Yeah, finalize 5 user stories. So once we have the OKRs established in OKR Board, now comes really the time to link it to your work in Jira Board. Because OKR is the planning. Now we want to link it to the real work, which is in Jira. So here we can link it to the Jira issues you already have, or the epics you already have. So I finalize the user stories. I need here to choose the one which defines the user story. And so I can link it. I can again choose if it contributes or it doesn't contribute on a percentage stage. That's up to you. If you want an automatic roll up, or if you want to discuss it week by week. What we highly advise on OKRs, that's maybe not automatically, but a tool can do both. So you can also automate it. Yeah. Same thing here again. To run the user tests, I can link a Jira issue where it's about the user story, it's about testing the user story. Yeah, link. And what is really, really nice in the tool, so I have the structure here: objective, sub-objective, key result, issue or epic, key result, issue and epic, and I can put as many below as I want. So you can bring them over from Jira Board here and have the connections. And you can also go into them. You have a button here to go directly into them. So all is very nicely integrated. So when we have the definition of the OKRs and the connection to the Epic and Jira, then of course it's time to update OKRs on a weekly or on a bi-weekly basis. If you let the OKRs or the epics and issues directly contribute, then it will be, when they are finished, then it will manipulate the KR directly. But sometimes then it's too much waterfall management and you don't want it. You want, for transparency reasons, to know who is working on what in OKRs, but you want to probably have a weekly discussion what you really achieved. Yeah. So how many percent did we really finalize the user stories and not only define them and so on. So you can do it manually by clicking here inside. Yeah, either you see it here already in a small overview or you click in the full OKR. So let's say I have validated with my team that we already have done 2 user stories, right? So that means it will go to 40%. And on the tests, because we work in a very collaborative way, we already have done 4 tests. Yeah. Good. And so 20-40%, it automatically rolls up to the department objective and then to the company objective. So everything is here on track. Like I said, if you have the epics and issues clean and you want them to roll up automatically, so you're very confident in the automation of your goal setting, you can do that. Another thing you can do, if you don't like the linear approach here, you can also use custom weights. Yeah, so you can say that the tests are more important than the user stories, and manually update it here, right? And duplicate the custom weights. Yeah, so confirm. So this then calculates double into the result of this objective. This is also possible. And we see that a lot in agile teams and squads, that they say, yeah, this work is more important than the other work, or these ones are higher prioritized than the other ones. So it's one of the easiest tool on the market, with a fantastic integration into Jira, and in the work you are doing into Jira, we fully recommend OKR Board. Yeah. You have great views here. I mean, you have the home view where you see a little bit what how you are doing personally, right? Where you are the owner, yeah, where you are the stakeholders, like the ones who is also responsible or who reports to it, your team's progress, the teams you are assigned to, and so on. Yeah. Then you have the objective view, which we already had, where you can scroll down and see everything. And what is fantastic here, and that's very important on OKRs, that everybody in the company has the same view, and everybody in the company knows what the others are doing and where they can contribute and where they can have ideas. And we see that works very well. So even people are not directly assigned, but all the information here is transparently available. And then, of course, you can bring it down to your own OKRs, right? That you see only the ones where you really work on, and maybe you are the contributor with the epics, or other people you then have to get in touch with, and so on. When you see a very high grade of collaboration here, you also see it then from your department or your group. Overall, you have dashboard views, how the entire company is doing, how your group or subunit is doing, and then also the people. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of information here for transparency and alignment, which we really like. And like I said, the best part is, of course, that we have a lot of clients who already have everything set up in Jira. They have the products, they have the backlogs, they have the sprints, everything there, and then they easily can connect here the issues and the epics, or they can even create new issues which then feed into their roadmaps. Yeah, and with one click, you are back at your projects. Of course, yeah, because you are not you are not looking on a daily basis in your OKRs. We are more looking on a weekly basis in your OKRs, but it really ties well together. Weekly basis here in the roadmaps and in the sprint planning and so on, and in the Kanban board, and then on a weekly view how the whole company is doing and you and your department are doing in this big picture. This was Carsten Ley from Asia PMO and OKR Asia. If you need support on your transformation project or how to implement OKRs in your company based on such a fantastic tool like OKR Board, please contact us. Thank you.